What is up, my fellow yarn bombers? It is I, the Crafty Crocheter, and today I thought I would just update y'all on what happened with me last week as part of my vacation and what's coming up. So, last week, as I mentioned, I was out of town with my husband. We went up to upstate New York to visit my in-laws, and that went pretty well. Of course, I've known them for 18 years, all the time we've been dating, so I think they gotten used to me by now at this point. So anyway, so then the big highlight of the trip was we went up to Letchworth National Park in close to southern New York. It is a really gorgeous place down there. The trees are starting to turn, the fall colors, the reds, yellows, golds, oranges, browns. So, and it turned out to be a really nice place. I mean, albeit some of it was a little wet because it rained the day before, so some of the paths were a little muddy and slippery, so I almost fell a few times. So I guess lesson learned is, if I'm gonna be hiking in a muddy area, bring hiking shoes or a pair of shoes that have good traction on them. But anyway, I may post some pictures I'll put a post of all the pictures I've taken from there. So overall, it was a good trip. So, and of course, no trip would be complete without some sort of a yarn haul. So I did go to a few stores. Well, of course, I went to the Michaels and Victor. I usually go there. I found a couple cakes of yarn, and then I went to a store called Vidler'S, which is in East Aurora, New York, which is a quaint little town. I mean, got some shops and restaurants and touristy things. So we went into Vidler'S, and it's a huge store. So on the outside, it may not look like it is a big store, but then once you step in, it's almost like different sections on multiple floors. I think there were 3 floors total. But they had kitchenwares, they had local souvenirs, and they had all sorts of things. But then I wanted to see if they had a crafting section or yarn section, and they had one. So I managed to score a couple skeins of yarn and some other accoutrements. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the yarn haul started. It's not a big yarn haul as compared to my last one. So it's time to reach into the old sack. Anyway, so I'll start with the first from Michaels, so we'll get that out of the way. So I got these yarns before at the other Michaels closer to me. So I got some more Smash Cakes yarn from Caron, and I got a couple colors that one I know I don't have, but I'm not sure if I remember showing this one before, but in case I didn't, I bought it anyway. So this colorway on this is called Mixed Up Mint. I think I did get this one because the colors look similar. And with the colorway, you see some neon greens, some off greens, and some blacks. And this particular store had a buy one get half off, so I got 2 of them. So both of these cakes only cost around 20 bucks. And then, as before, in case you may not have known what the stats are, it's a number 4 weighted yarn, machine washable and dryable. It's 100% acrylic. It is 8 ounces or 227 grams, 432 yards or 395 meters. And I will show you all the stats right now, just in case. There you go. And then the next one I got, this was a really cool colorway. I fell in love with this. It was all sort of a retro rainbow disco type of thing. If you like an arcade type of thing, is really cool. And the colorway on this is called Candyland. But then there's the colorway for that. And this has the same specs as with the other one, but I will show you the specs for it anyway, for this particular yarn. All right, so that is the 2 I got from Michaels. All right, so I'm reaching for the old sack. 3 of... Not anymore. Alright, so then... I never... all these 3 skeins of yarn are Red Heart. These are all Red Heart stripes. I've never seen these colors before, at least in my local store, so when I saw these, I had to snatch them up. And these were on at Vidler'S. So I got these 3 from Vidler'S, along with some circular knitting needles. So these all costed $6 a skein. Okay, and then the specs for this, it's a number 4 weighted yarn. It is machine washable. 5 ounces or 141 grams. 236 yards or 215 meters. And then I'll show you the specs for that. And then the other 2 are going to be the same, so I won't have to repeat myself as far as the weight and the length. And then the colorway is Icelandic. And then here's another one. This one was really pretty. It's like a pink camo, because I thought it was really cool. Then they had the regular camo, but I can find it at my local store. And yeah, the colorway is called pink camo. And then the colorway, you see pinks and brown, like some little bit of brown, deep, maybe military green, olive green, and you see some lighter green. Oh, on Icelandic, I'm sorry, I forgot to show you the colorway. So you see a lot of blues, grays, light gray, darker gray, some blues. And then the last one, I thought this was really cool. This reminded me of like one of those Andes candies, you know, the chocolate mint with that little stripe of green in the middle. And you see the colorway, you see some browns, some light browns, tans, see some light greens and some darker greens. And the colorway is called Forest, and it's named adequately because it kind of reminds you of a forest, with like a pine tree forest. And then I also got a pair of circular knit needles from Boye. This is a 9mm, no, not a size 9 or 5.25 millimeter. I don't know how I can see that on the camera. So I've been wanting to try knitting again. So that way I can be more versatile, whether it be crocheting or knitting, because on my page it does say crocheting and knitting. So I felt I owed it to my subscribers and new viewers who are new to the page, that knitting is part of the channel as well. Yeah, so that is all I have for the yarn haul. I'm gonna put this back in the old sack. And so I think I showed as far as the update on my Patchwork Dreams blanket that I'm making for my husband's hairdresser, I have all 20 of these done. All 20 of these done. All 20 of these done. And then I got all 14 of these done. Then I also had to use some of my flower power yarn. So I got 7 of these because it's 14 total. So I wanted to do a different, like a balance one. So there's this one, 7 of these, and then 7 of these. So all I have left to do now are the big giant granny squares. They're like 10 rounds of granny squares. So yeah, so once I get all those done, then I'm gonna go through my yarn stash and see what color I want to use to join all the squares together, and then start the preliminary border around the entire blanket. So I'll keep you updated on that. Well, that's all I got for today, guys. So hope everyone's day is going well today. Grab your crochet hooks, grab some yarn, and create something beautiful today. Spread love and not hate. Spread positivity and love throughout this universe. Love each other, help each other out, and get inspired to create something today. This, whether it be crocheting, knitting, drawing, whatever, just to just to calm yourself, just to release some stress. And so anyway, yeah, I think that's all I got for today, guys. I'm trying to keep this short and sweet. And look, and I will be having my crochet therapy Thursdays at noon Eastern Standard Time, so be ready for that. And I think that's all I got for today. I'm sorry if I'm just kind of, my mind's going a little blank. So don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified when new videos are being released. And as a reminder, I am a market affiliate for the following companies. So I'll leave the links in the description below. So any orders that you make as a result of clicking those links will put a little money in my pocket. So that way I can keep the channel growing and buy more yarns, obviously. But, you know, don't tell my husband that. So anyway, that's all I got, guys. So I'm going to go through my stash, see what I can find for the rest of the project. And I may do some organization today. So I may show some, like, a before and after photos or whatnot. So on that note, take care of yourself and each other.